Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. Astaghfirullah rabbi min kulli zambin wa atubu ilayh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammad. Warm welcome to all of my lovers, followers, subscribers, friends, my fellows, all of you guys must be thanked by me that always it's been pleasure for me that you people are spending time with me and really appreciate it. I know that everyone is much more preoccupied, but even spending time with me on my videos. So this really appreciative for me, and I do recognize. So very first of all, I would like to thank the people who have joined me. Arif has joined. Arif, thanks. Fiaz joined me. Really, I am grateful to all, everyone. Today, as you people might have observed, the thumbnail, the title of the program is very important. Before starting my program, I want to know that, guys, my voice is clear to you, my audio, video, because last time I was having some problem in my audio. So please, Arif, Fiaz, if you people are with me, so please tell me my voice is clear to you. Arif, I am asking from you. Thanks, Arif. Thanks. Unfortunately, I couldn't be live last Saturday due to some of my personal preoccupations, so I couldn't be live today. You know that I come live mostly on every Saturday or Sunday. So today is Saturday, then I decided to be live and I want to talk to my friends. Thanks, Fiaz. Thing is, all of you must be aware the current prevailing situation in Pakistan's politics is going to be much more critical. Very alarming situation is there. This is not a matter who is in the power, who is supposed to, who is going to be, but I consider ethics, norms, humanity must be cared for. We must not cross the limits, and must we have to be in the limits, so that I really don't understand. Our politicians are not understanding this. Why? Because people are well aware the situation which has been going on from last 2 days. For every one of you is well aware. They know that opponents of today is the friends of tomorrow. Friends of today are opponents of tomorrow. So then, and our history is there. Long history is there. Like we have been facing this situation. But even then, we people are not understanding. I really don't comprehend this point. Why people, definitely, that Holy Prophet says always get lesson from your past, what you spent. For Englishmen say, mistake should be done but should not be repeated. Even then, we people are not clear. Even after passing the country's freedom, the liberation, 75 years about, we people are not understanding that any person who is against of you today is going to be your friend tomorrow. If in current regime one person is your friend, is your fellow, is your partner of regime, tomorrow the same person in next government, that person could be against of you. But and we have had many more experiences. We have passed long time. Just if we just start talking from not very much before, from 71, at the time of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who were his companions, then who were the opponents of Benazir Bhutto, and who were the friends? Who were the friends of even that dictator, what Pakistan People's Party claimed? They later on became the friends of People's Party. Mean you can never imagine it. A person like, definitely everybody is aware, Bhutto is being considered one of the prominent and competent leader in Pakistan. What most of the political parties, they understand and they comprehend him and they consider that personality. But while what happens, that when Bibi came in 1988, so many of his opponents of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto became the partners of Benazir Bhutto. Many people were against of Mr. Nawaz Sharif, but they became friends of Nawaz Sharif. Many people, they were very strongly part of People's Party and PMLN. They became the friend of this present regime, who are people who are in the government. They are the ministers. They are very strong part of the government now, who were against of PTI. The biggest example is Mr. Sheikh Rashid, who is your interior minister right now. So he was the part of PMLN, Mr. Sheikh Rashid. Okay? And now he is very strong part of PTI. Although he is having his own party, but definitely whatever he is having, just on the behalf of PTI, on the behalf of Prime Minister. After observing all these things, having this observation, so for God's sake, please tell me that why they people are not understanding and going to be enemy of one another. What happened yesterday in Sindh House? Both were the politicians. Somewhere they might be some friends in previous timings, in the past timings. And yesterday they became enemy of one another. What is this, for God's sake? I really don't understand. And if the people consider that they are annoyed, they are opponent of one another, so what do you think, that they are not going to be together tomorrow? What they are going to do? In a person who is standing this time in PTI and must be having sympathies with the Prime Minister Imran Khan, so what do you think? That person is not going to be changed? Biggest example I've given you of Sheikh Rashid. One more example I can give you of Mr. Shah Mahmood Qureshi, who is the current foreign minister. And you must be aware, it's not very ancient time, not a long time before, that he was foreign minister of Pakistan People's Party from 2008 till 2012 round. And today he is very strong part of PTI and very strong member of PTI. So, what will you say? Don't you have the ethics? Don't you have the norms that a person who is going to be enemy today might be your friend tomorrow, because nothing is the final word, what most of the politicians claim, most of the politicians claim that no word is finalized, although I don't believe this. There must be some rules and regulations. There must be some ethics, definitely. But certainty too, whatever you are going to say, you must be having firm point on that. You must be firm on that thing. It shouldn't be happening like whatever you are going to say, you are going to deviate your way. Then you must be and would be called U-turn, U-turn master. What do you consider that? Is it the right thing if you are going to be considered a U-turn person? Being a leader, if a leader is not having this capability to decide the thing which must be working forever, so I don't consider that person could be the leader. What do you consider? Could that be the leader? Who is not even what we have learned in politics, in political science, a leader, the definition of leader, who even knows about behind the wall, must be aware about observing the thing, what is going on behind the wall, then deciding and then making firm steps. That one is a leader. Here, unfortunately, some leader is saying, okay, that what I've said, it's not a hadith. Some leaders say that one is a big leader who is going to change the things, who is going to have the U-turns. That person is saying that I'm the biggest leader. Just consider yourself why I am focusing, that I am keeping an eye on politicians, just to educate the people, just to be making more clear towards the masses that they should be clear, neat and clear about their leaders, who they are, what the capabilities they people are having, what the eligibility they people are having. While you people are going to select your leaders, so at least observe them, that which capability they people are having, whether they are going to be leading you in a well way. But unfortunately, definitely I consider some of the flaw definitely goes towards the masses too. So, very sorry, there was a bit interference. Very sorry that there was some interference. So please, guys who are with me, so please tell me that my voice and video is clear to you. Please let me know, then I'll start again. My voice is clear, Arib, Fiaz, I think you two are with me. So many people might be joining us later, because this is a bit odd timing when I decided to be live. So, I'm thankful to all that people who cannot be part of my live transmission. So they definitely watch me later, and I am really grateful to all of them that they people are going to join me later. So this is so kind of everyone. So please tell me that, guys, my voice is clear and my video is clear to you. Please, I want to know. Okay, thanks, Fiaz. Okay, so I was saying that here that person is considered a bigger leader who claims that a person who is going to deviate So guys, once again, I'm in front of you. There is bit interference in my live transmission. So very sorry for that. So I come again live. So guys, so here that person who claims to be changing the ways, to be changing the decisions, that person is considered to be a leader. How? It's not possible, because my prophet says a person who is knowing about the background, anything which is happening backdoors, behind the wall, a person who is going to be clear about that situation, so to be considered a leader. But here leaders claim themselves, because they are claiming themselves and they are not the leaders, unfortunately. They people are saying okay, a person who is going to deviate their ways, who is going to have U-turns, so those persons are considered to be the leaders. So it's not the case. They can never be the leaders. A person who is not well aware what is happening, even what might be happening after 20 years, after 30 years. So that's why we are having these type of leaders, and all the time, my country has not been flourished, my country has not been progressed, even after passing 75 years. Just get the example of many more countries who just have got freedom before 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and now today they are much more progress and flourished. Here 75 years have been passed, and still we people are unable to flourish our country. We are still having inflation, we are still having poverty, we are still having religious intolerance, we are still having nepotism. What Kyle said, that he would never ever tolerate these things. But all the things, all the problems, all the flaws, we people are existing personalities as well as in our country. Is this the leadership? These people should be called the leaders. I don't want to mention that example which has been very popular nowadays, Mr. Bilawal Zardari, what he just been, what should I say? He even doesn't know how to speak, how to utter one's words. Okay, Mr. Bilawal, you are definitely amongst those people who have sacrificed for the Pakistan, whose family has given many more sacrifices. But for God's sake, very first of all, it's very important interacting to the people how you are going to. You cannot say that it's not a big issue that how to be interacted while you are supposed to interact to the people and you are not having many more capability of that. So this might create trouble, because if you are unable to understand people's problems, so then how you are going to have solution or remedy for those ones? But we people are not caring for this. So coming on the point, because today just I'll be going for my life for a very short time. Vote of no confidence movement has been moved. Now it's been decided round it's been decided round 28 to 30 of the March. Session would be held where the vote of no confidence move will be presented properly, and voting is expected to be held on between 28 to 30 of March. It will be decided later because OIC meeting is on ahead on 23. So just because of this, there might be some changes in the plans. PDM, Democratic Movement, opposition parties, they have created. They believe, they claim that they have more numbers in their hands and they are going to remove the present regime with obviously all of Prime Minister's team. 172 members are required, which is what PDM claims that they people are having 190 members. And yesterday, obviously, that was observed. Many of the PTI members, they just mentally, they people are prepared to change their parties. They people are prepared to change their viewpoint. They don't want to be with the present regime more. They don't want to be the part of this stream more. And definitely people stand with opponent party, opposition parties. My question is, okay, this is a democratic way to change a government, for the removal of the government. Constitution gives you right, if Prime Minister is going to lose the majority in Parliament House, so he will have to get vote of confidence. If Prime Minister loses that, so a person who is going to have simple majority in the House, so could create a government. That is what is allowed to uh, the opposition parties. I know government has created many more troubles for the people of Pakistan. The biggest issue is inflation, poverty, religious intolerance, nepotism, jobbery, corruption, which we have been having for a long, long time. That is one of the facts. But people were having this hope from present regime that we would be able to get rid of the all type of dilemmas. But unfortunately, present regime hasn't been able to find out any remedy for all of these issues, which was expectation from this government. They might be having many troubles. They might be willing to get the remedy, but they haven't been able to. In the about 4 years, then people decided that this government has been failed. They people are helpless finding out any solution for the people of Pakistan. This is true. This is fact. But issue what I consider is, if PDM, if opposition parties, they have decided to remove this government, have they decided for the betterment of the people, for the sake of people, for the having will of the people that they should be flourished, they should be, their problems to be resolved? Do you consider, this is my question from the people of Pakistan, are they going to do like this? If the people are going to feel for the betterment of the people, for the masses, for the poverty of my country, then please tell me, if they are willing to, that lawlessness has been increased, crime rate has been increased. So I quote some example. Very recently, I've been covering for a long time the case of Nur Muqaddam. Everybody has been talking. So just tell me that how many times opposition have stood with Muqaddam's family? This is my question. Just one time they were going to have interpretations? Just been saying, have they done anything practical for Muqaddams? Okay, second case is there. I recall you because Alhamdulillah, I have very good memory, I don't forget. And my videos are proof of that. There was incident of Sahiwal where the parents were killed in front of very small children. What is the solution of that case? Where that case has gone? Has opposition talked about that? Has opposition raised any voice against that point? No. If you have, so please show me. That have opposition parties gone to the family, victimized family? Never. There was one more case of Shahzeb. Has government stood with Shahzeb family? Never. So then how can you say that opposition is standing for the rights of people? They are willing to bring the rights of people in front, and they are willing that people's right must be called out, must be brought out, must be given to the masses? How it could be claimed? Never ever possible. Why the people are doing? Because all of them have got the FIRs and cases on them, and they want to get rid of from all of those cases. That is the case. That is the wish, that is the will of the opposition, why the people are willing to have no vote of no confidence on the present regime. But fortunately, they have got this opportunity. The present regime has failed to find out any remedy for the people, for the masses of Pakistan. And this opportunity has been given to the opposition. So what I used, eye on politicians. Keep eye on politicians. Today, what is happening, even what was happening when the present regime was going to be formulated, how the parties were changing their loyalties, and what is going on right now, what the PMLQ is doing, what MQM is doing. For God's sake, people, you have to be now vigilant. You have to woke up. You have to wake up. You have to be activated. But unfortunately, we people are doing nothing for our rights. We just want that a regime should come and do everything for us, but we should not have to work out for that. We should not have to raise our voice against any wrong thing. Englishman says God helps those who help themselves. God helps those who help themselves. If you are not going to work out, today everyone is saying that due to inflation, that people are in tough time, people are in fix, they are not leading a life of ease. So what is the reason? Because you are not caring yourself, for yourself you people are not caring for. You people are not raising your voice. What our politicians are doing? Have they done something for the betterment of people, or for themselves, or for their own families? Then you consider that other politicians would come and people are going to change everything for us. But my question from politicians, from opposition, if you are going to join the government, now keep this in your mind that today is time of social media. Everything has been digitalized and complete globe is connected, which is called global village. So anybody is going to do anything wrong, so would have to face consequences. Now it won't be possible that whatever you people are going to do, whatever the way you are going to have just to loot the country, impossible, that is going to be concealed or hidden. That would come in front of people. That would come in front of people. Now the time has been changed. We have entered in 21st century. But very unfortunately, still today we people are considering, even we people are considering that we are living in ancient timings, where just the barbarism is going on. We wish to, our politicians wish to, our elite wish to, that time shouldn't be changed. And we are supposed to be in ancient times where though nobody is going to observe us, whatever we people are going to do. So we must be allowed to do that. But it's not possible now. Whatever the thing is happening, you will have to face the consequences. It's going to be happening. How the people are going to be sold out in all the timings. The people who are saying that this time people, politicians are just for being on sale. So what do you think? Is this the sale first time it's been going on? Anybody could answer me? This sale has been going on for long time. Very brief introduction I want to give you for this sale. Please listen very carefully. This is the history. Many people have joined me. Many young generation has joined me. So they must be, listen it very carefully. I start from 1985. So for God's sake, please I am willing to share a history of 35 to 40 years with you guys. Listen me very carefully. 85, Mr. Junejo was the prime minister. After the long time of dictatorship, elections were held on non-party based. Mr. Junejo was elected as a prime minister. Just after 3 years, he was sacked in 1988 by the dictator, Mr. Ziaul Haq. He sacked his regime. He had to go back to his home. Then Bibi came, Benazir Bhutto. She was elected. She won the election, became a prime minister. Just she was able to remain prime minister for only 18 to 20 months. In 1990, her government was sacked. Her government had gone back to home. Then in 1990, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, he became prime minister of Pakistan. His party was elected. Just after round about 3 years, in 1993, his government was sacked. And before that, I tell you that total duration of government is 5 years. Just now, imagine it, what has been happening in our country, what has been the history of our country. 1993, his government was sacked. Then again, Bibi's government came into power. Benazir Bhutto's government, People's Party government came into power. She was elected as a prime minister. So in 1996, her government was sacked. Her government had gone back to home. Then again, Mr. Nawaz Sharif was elected as a prime minister. And in 1999, his government was sacked again by a dictator, Pervez Musharraf. Then he remained there for many years, but he imposed martial law for 3 years, from 1999 to 2002. Then in 2002, elections were held again, and Mr. Zafrullah Jamali from Balochistan was elected as a prime minister from PMLQ. He was sacked just after 2.5 years. His government was sacked, and all the ministers, everything was changed. And from same party, a new prime minister was elected, Mr. Shaukat Aziz, who was called from outer country. He was Pakistani, but he remained in abroad for a long time and working in IMF in all those departments. He became our prime minister for rest half of the era, half of the time. Then in 2008, elections were held. People's Party government came into power again. Mr. Yusuf Raza Gilani was elected as the prime minister. After 4 years, he was sacked. And Pervez Ashraf was elected from the same party, but prime minister was changed. Wasn't able to complete 5 years, any prime minister. Then in 2013, elections were held. Mr. Nawaz Sharif was elected once again. After 4 years, he was sacked. He had to go back to his home. Then Mr. Shahid Khaqan Abbasi was elected as the prime minister for the rest of the time for 1 year. Then in 2018, PTI's government was in the power, which is currently going on. And I don't know what is going to happen on 30th of March. And 1 year is left for this government. For God's sake, which type of country we are, which type of people we are, which type of politicians we people have, what capability we have, what intelligence we have, that till today, after these much years, we haven't been able to decide our political timings, the regime timings, for how much time one regime is supposed to pass time. Here I want just to leave, and please think that this is the history what I've shared with you. What we are doing, where we are going, I don't know. You must think and share with me. Long live Pakistan.